It's time for Mama Bear Donita on the Mama Bear Cancer Support Radio podcast. Welcome to the Sharing Den, where we share cancer stories, products, and information to support anyone going through the journey. We will be there for you. We will be there with you. Now, welcome Mama Bear Donita.
Hi, this is Mama Bear Donita, and you are listening to the Mama Bear Cancer Support Radio podcast on Society Bites Radio, part of the Radio Ear Network family. My podcasts are also available on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Fort Lauderdale Community Radio, Miami Community Radio, and the SOB Network. And today I want to welcome Seretha. And Seretha is here with us from Nashville, Tennessee. And
yes.
Seretha, welcome. Seretha is, I'm so glad to have you on. We had a bit, the listeners wouldn't know this, but we had a bit of a problem getting on air today. So it's nice to finally have crossed that goal line. And I want you guys to know who Seretha is. She is the person behind the brand, imagination, insight, innovation, with helping of boldness, is Seretha Nobbin, CVO to VIP, secret weapon to the industry of public relations and marketing. Known as a vision carrier, her goal is to bring forth the best in people by helping them develop their sense of purpose. She is known to be effective when manifesting your vision, and will strive to help you create specific achievable goals, initiate action, and enlist in the participation of others to take notice of you and your brand. And I'm gonna there's a lot more to add to that, but I will add to that on social media where people can read it and not listen to it, which I find is really a lot better. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
First of all, is that me? Is all that me? Oh my goodness. Well, I do want to say, first of all, I want to say, whenever there is a struggle of something that needs to take place, and we did have a little issues, but guess what? That let me know that this is going to be an awesome podcast. So thank you so much for having me on to be able to share a little bit about me, about my business, and about our future, and about where we're going. I believe in divine connection, so this is perfectly honest. I mean, honestly, this is going to be a great podcast. So I started VIP Mama Bear because I didn't like who I was. I was ashamed of who I was. And I was doing myself a disfavor as well as the people who I was connected with. I was losing friends because I wasn't honest about who I was. I was the creative liar. I could, and the reasoning behind that was I didn't like who I was because I was ashamed of some of the things that happened to me growing up. And I wasn't able to face the man in the mirror. So I felt that if I created a fake world, I could live in that. But things started crashing down on me. So one of the reasoning behind VIP, Visionaries Initiating Purpose, is for me to be able to bring out the best in people. And by doing that, you first have to know who you are. So whenever I use the word that I'm a vision carrier, because visionaries see what they want, but they don't know how to produce how to get there. They don't, I don't say that they don't know, but they need help in getting that push. So because they're so focusing on being the visionary. So we come along and we provide tools to help you get there. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. I currently am taking a business course, and it's the first part of the course is understanding yourself. And I was telling another friend about this, and my friend said to me, well, she's actually my spiritual advisor. And she said to me, because I'm rebranding and reworking my website and everything. And she said, do not forget mind, body, soul. That is so important to you. And if you do not want to leave that out of any rebranding, or they will miss the true, genuine you if that is not all
the
together.
Transparency, right,
yes.
right.
And I feel like you're really on to something with this, because we're in a time where, because
Yes.
of because of the internet, there's a lot of connecting with the not strange or different or enlightened or spiritual or the path that is the least popular, it seems like. And I think it's important. You absolutely have to know who you are in order to be that genuine person and to attract the clients that you truly need to attract.
And that is so important. And through my awakening, I realized that I wasn't getting anywhere because I couldn't acknowledge the things that had happened to me. I am an incest survivor. I am. And I'm a motivational speaker. I go out and speak on behalf of being a survivor. So one of the things that I could not comprehend was saying this happened to me because I created it. It's my fault.
Right.
Here's the world thing that happened was my fault. And once I I had to blame somebody. It was a blaming game. So for years, anything that I could not successfully achieve, I would blame my father for why I couldn't achieve those goals because I went through the blaming game. And then the second phase is acceptance. And I tell you guys, that was the hardest thing for me to get through was the acceptance. But once you will get there, to all my listeners who have gone through some type of trauma in your life, you will eventually get there.
You will.
And that was that was the third phase. And after acceptance comes the last thing, and that's forgiveness. And what people don't realize, not only do you have to forgive your perpetrator, but you also have to forgive yourself. Again, that was another. It was hard for me to get through because it was hard for me to forgive myself because for years I had created an atmosphere of lying to cover up for things that I had done and and the reasoning but why I had done those things. And then for the people that I had to go to and ask for forgiveness, oh my goodness. And some people accepted it and some people didn't. But guess what? I did my part. And there's no shame on me.
No. And if they didn't accept it, that's on them, not you. So
that's on them.
Yeah. And honestly, I went through the same thing. Like as a survivor, I feel like there's like stages of survivorship. Like when I was in survivor infancy, I was in a very low mental place because you think, oh, I just survived cancer. You're going to kick butt. Nope. I was as low on myself because you're like, what did I do that brought that on me?
Yes.
And you do have to look in the mirror very, very deeply. And you have to be able to accept that there are some things that you did very wrong. And, just like you go to those people and it seems to work itself out.
Yes, it does.
You do the work and it follows. It doesn't follow in the United States way of 10 seconds later working. It might take 10 years, but it's still the time, the time that it takes. It is a process. And it is something that you have to be willing to accept and then, process and move forward. And it's just a beautiful way. I'm on your Twitter page right now. And I love your visionaries initiating purpose. I love the handwriting with the big V and the VIP, and I love all of that. And I do want to give it. That is thanks to Connects Multimedia. He takes my vision because I'm a visionary, and he created that from what I shared, what I gave him. Thank you. Oh, it looks fantastic, and you have a beautiful picture too, and I love what you write on here. So. A lot of good things, to check it out. It's at Seretha Nobbin. I can't, you know what? It's so funny. If I practice ahead of time and I understand it, I guarantee I'll say it wrong. Every single time. So I know it. If I'm not anything, I'm consistent. So, right. But, and I think it's important to mention too, because since we're both talking about like our survivor journey and where that took us, that it is really I personally, and I know a lot of survivors who feel this way, your real cancer journey starts when your survivorship starts. And it's people
Yes,
are
you
always
better,
like,
girl.
oh
Yes.
yeah, you're
Mm-hmm.
done with treatment. You're done. Your hair's growing
Mm-hmm.
back. You
Mm-hmm.
look better. You don't look like a ghost anymore, and you're done. What? No, I just
Mm-hmm.
started. Like, this is a whole
Mm-hmm.
new me. What do you
Mm-hmm.
want me to do with all this?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know this person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
Wow.
you gotta,
Yes.
yeah, you gotta get
Mm.
deep and meet that person. And because that person you can't take
Yes.
out in public until you know who they are.
Yeah.
You know?
And yeah, and I'm so glad you touched up on that because a lot of people don't know how to meet that person. I'm free to share that I am working on a book. Well, actually, I'm actually working on a movie called The Inner Child. And once you connect with your inner child, oh my goodness, it's a whole new revelation. You start to see your purpose clear. You start to see your vision clear. And for me, it was a real good connection with God that I was providing a disgrace to him by not walking in the acceptance of who I am. And, we all are survivors of something. We
Right.
are.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't share how we became a survivor, we're doing injustice to people who are going through. And that's why I created, from VIP, Initiating Purpose, I created Crown On. And Crown On is the Reveal the Real You. Crown On is my motivation and speaking platform where I go out and I tell women that it's okay to accept your flaws. It's okay to love who you are. And then guess from Crown On, I created the Reveal the Real podcast because I movie stars do such a great story. They do great at being movie stars. But just like you, I wanted to connect with real people that had gone through things and say they can look at that person and say, oh my gosh, she's just like me. Oh my God, he's gone through the same thing I've gone through. He survived divorce. He survived his wife cheating with another man.
Right,
And
right.
those
No, I
are
totally
people
agree.
that can connect. Yes, yes.
And it's important too when you go through that journey that you pay attention to what's going on at that time. Like you're trying to process who you are right then and there and everything, and you don't always know. So sometimes if you have a guided hand, like I didn't find myself by myself. I'm sure you didn't either.
Nope, come on. No, I did
no.
not.
No. And it requires, and you mentioned God, it requires an entire team for me. I'm like, like I needed a whole team of people to cover that. So,
yes.
And I didn't know it. You don't know that at the time. But and I'm sorry. I did. My apologies. I am a little bit thrown off with the strange recording time. But and you, I should have mentioned your Crown On because tell us more about that. Yeah. No, tell us more about that though.
Okay. Crown On is empowering women to be to reveal the real you. You heard me share earlier that for years I struggled with that because for years I was covering up being molested by my father, who was well known in the community, and not being able to go to someone and share my story or to even talk about it because, in African American homes, we're taught that what goes on in the home stays in the home. So it was.
I'm not sure that that's just African American. Yeah. That was in my house too. So,
right. So,
and it's almost like a form of shame. But don't you think that they do that on purpose so that they can continue the behavior without any, recourse?
Accountability. Yes. Yes. So, from the ashes came Crown On.
Love it.
And I took just from coming out of the ashes of what I was to who I was supposed to be, and understanding with the concept that it's okay to tell my flaws. I can honestly talk about the past. I can honestly talk about the stories that I created just so I could be liked, just so I could be accepted, just so I could be part of the in crowd. And I just got tired. I really did. I got tired of doing that. And finally I had to break. It was doing a transition where I had to tell my son, for after so many years, who